Welcome back, everybody. It has been a while, 3 to 4 months, something like that. Some of you are probably wondering, where's Control? I don't know if Control's ever coming back, honestly. I did not have the most fun with that game, and I feel like you could tell by the end. I still haven't beaten it, just like personally. I got stuck, I think, a little ways past where we got to as a group. And I just didn't want to play it anymore. Did that kill this channel? No, as evidenced by you hearing this right now. However, it did put something of a stall on it. I didn't want to not finish the series, but I wasn't having fun. And I may go back to it someday, but chances are slim. Why then did that make me disappear for 3 to 4 months? Well, it was a combination of factors. The first of which is that I kind of lost motivation for this as a whole, as a concept, as an idea. I don't know why. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what triggered that. I don't know what caused it, but it was there, and I felt like if I wasn't all in, if I wasn't invested in this, then there was no point in trying to do a halfway job. The second reason is I got sick. Now, not seriously sick or anything, but when I get a cough, it's constant, it's prevalent for weeks to months at a time. This one lasted about 2 months.
Listen to my story.
Which makes recording audio difficult. Now, it doesn't make it impossible, but it does make it difficult. So what was I doing in that time? Not a whole lot. I was working. I have a job. Believe it or not, a YouTuber with a job that isn't YouTube. Mostly because don't make any money off this. YouTube, I get very few subscribers, very few views. So this is a hobby. Hobbies don't usually take precedent. So I was working. I got more back into movies. I didn't quit movies, but I watched a whole lot more of them. It was coming up on the year's end, and I try to get a certain sample size of movies from the year in order to have some sort of opinion on the year as a whole. I think that's only fair. I think if you want to have something of substance to say, you need to have a large enough sample size. So I did that. I caught up on some of the ones I missed, and that was the most of it. It was a combination of just lack of motivation and a sickness when I did have motivation. I literally could not record the audio. Could have recorded some video. I did record some video, and that's what we're doing now.
No problem.
This is Final Fantasy X for those unaware somehow.
Alrighty.
And it is probably my favorite video game.
Easy.
Now, it does hold some sentimental value. I don't like judging things based on that because that's purely subjective as opposed to most of the things that are only mostly subjective. However, this was the first PlayStation 2 game I ever played.
If I score a goal,
We got it. My parents divorced, and we had the GameCube at my dad's. My mother bought a PlayStation 2.
okay?
Some bootleg games, actually, that came with it. We bought it secondhand. And Final Fantasy X,
Got it.
which we bought new. And the idea was we would play it as a family. It would be a fun bonding thing.
Gotta go.
We'd just gone through this whole upheaval, and we'd play Final Fantasy X. That didn't really come to fruition. We played it for a few times, and then mother got busy, my sister got busy, so I played it alone most of the time. But fine. Still my first PS2 game, real PS2 game. And outside of like Pokemon, probably my first JRPG. I played this at 10, 11, somewhere in there. So you don't have a whole host of experiences then. Generally, especially back then. We didn't have access to as many things. I didn't have a lot of game. I had my Pokemons. That was pretty much it. So this kind of changed the way I saw video games. Not to put too fine a point on it. But it was literally life-changing for me. So, I've played it not quite a dozen times, but maybe around 8-9 times. And this is my most recent playthrough, obviously. As of recording this, I haven't beaten it again, but we're getting there. But I wanted to get back to getting this Let's Play channel off the ground again. It's a new year. I figured let's start at the new year. We're going to make some changes. It's going to be back to 1 per day, and it's just going to be weekdays. So just try to... I went too hard too much when I went to 2 a day, and also... I can't remember if I did them on weekends, but I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't... No, maybe I didn't. I can't remember. Someone will know. Someone will know better than me. I haven't honestly thought much about this in the 2 months at least. But I decided I'm going to give it another year. We'll see what happens. See if it grows. See if I learn something. See if I do better. See if I do worse. We'll see. And I really wanted to at least get this game out there. Maybe 10-2 as well, because I love that game. And I think most of you are wrong about it. But I needed to get this one out. I needed to do the Let's Play for this game. I tried to convince someone to join me on commentary for it. But the time commitment and the fact that he had never played it, or never played a Final Fantasy, from what I understand, led him to say that, nah, maybe not this time. But I am hoping to get a couple more guests this season, this year. And that is a big tidal wave, and that's coming right for us. Who's the guy in red? We will find out soon. You probably saw our name. We got to name our character. Unfortunate, in my opinion. I think they should have just given us the name. The default name is Tidus or Tidus, as we've learned it's apparently called. Even though it's spelled Tidus. That's him. That's us. I'm gonna pronounce it Tidus because that is what I feel more comfortable saying. Tidus sounds dumb to me. I don't really care if it's official. It doesn't matter. Technically, we got to name him, so even if it's spelled the same, I can just say it's pronounced Tidus. That's my prerogative. So we are in Zanarkand right now. This is a futuristic city. We are playing the sport of blitzball. It's played in a water sphere. I do not know how everyone is able to hold their breath. But that tidal wave is about to destroy our city, our way of life. Everything, basically. That's sure a way to open this game. Everything's being uprooted. Yada, yada, yada. Maybe we have dead parents. Probably it's a JRPG. We'll find out. I will say, so these are they're basically maybe 2.5 different graphical, not settings, but types in this game. What we just saw, those are like pre-animated, pre-rendered, like almost movie quality. If you've seen the Final Fantasy movies, they look similar to that. This game came out in like 2001 originally, and they looked so good then. I still think they look really good, honestly. But hey, there's that guy in red. His name's Orin.
What are you doing here?
He's waiting. We know him, I guess. So yeah, the pre-rendered visuals I thought looked amazing then. This is the HD remaster. I'm playing it on PC. I still think it looks amazing. The rest of the game is the visuals you see now. The HD remaster, actually, I think it did a pretty good job overall of just making things not look terrible. If you were to play the PS2 version, it doesn't look the greatest nowadays.
It begins.
But we've got widescreen, we've got HD,
Don't cry.
we've got better textures, sharper stuff. It also came with the international version of the game, which we didn't have in North America, hence the international part, which has some bonus content and endgame stuff, which we're not gonna really mess around with too much, but it's there for you, it's fun, and it's new. I mean, I played this game for PS2 forever, and then you get new stuff, and that's just very, very cool. So that's basically the catch-up. I know it's about 10 minutes, and most of it was not about the game. But this opening gave me a little time to chat. It wasn't too dialogue heavy or anything, and I figured people might be curious what's up, considering I ain't been here. So yes, that giant thing is Sin, which is an apt name. It's symbolic. You'll find out why soon enough. And it's destroying our city. And why? Well, there are reasons for that too. Those are Sin spawn. Those are what we're going to fight. It's time for our first combat tutorial. There are a few in this game. Basically every time we get new stuff, we get a tutorial. Orin had a random sword for us, which is handy. And he is very strong, and we are weak. Which is kind of funny. Gift from Jekt. So this was Jekt's sword. Jekt is our father. You may have seen him on a billboard earlier on. He long dark hair, beard, shirtless, or mostly shirtless. Fashion's a little weird. Yes, I pronounced fashion also strangely there. So the gameplay of this, it's very, very standard turn-based JRPG, which I am a big fan of. I like having the time to plan actions and decide what you're going to do instead of having to do it on the fly. Like, I played Final Fantasy 15, did not really like it, because it's just an action RPG. I played 12. 12 was like a hybrid kind of thing. I haven't played 13. 13 also is strange. I've watched some of 13, but haven't actually played it. But 10 and 10-2. 10-2 has a little more thinking on your feet, but you can still pause it a little bit, which helps me. Maybe I'm just bad at on-the-fly micromanaging, but this game's combat is nearly perfect for me. Honestly, it's just the classic JRPG turn-based stuff. Characters have classes. You know what they got to do. You got to figure out what you're doing against each enemy. You can try some trial and error. You can grind to just brute force it if you want, but you can also like clear it at basically level 1. I'm pretty sure there are no leveling challenges that people have completed in this game. I think that's just really cool, and I think it's really fun. And it's not the best for Let's Play, and let's be real, because it does involve some grinding. But given how much I've played this game, I'm going to try not to do too much of it. If I have to do too much of it, I'll do it off camera. I'll just show you guys. So what Orin is using right now is an overdrive. It's basically a special move. You've got a gauge under your character's name in the bottom right corner there. That fills up. You can change why it fills up after you do certain things. Right now, I'm pretty sure it fills up when we take damage. I'm pretty sure it's the default one. After you like do enough damage to enemies, you can change it so you do it when you do damage to them. You can change it to when you kill an enemy. You can change it to when you dodge an attack. There's a whole lot of ways you can charge your overdrive. Some of them become very overpowered late in the game. But right now it's just when he hurts us, it fills up. You can't lose this fight, as far as I know, unless you just... No, because you have to use Orin's overdrive to start it. The enemy right now is just using Demi, which does a quarter of your health. Or half your health. I can't remember. It does a percentage of your health, anyway. Of your remaining health, not total. So, he just keeps using that. Eventually you'll get to 1 health. You never will die. It looks like a quarter. So, not very hard, but it's teaching you the basics. You wouldn't really want to lose to the first kind of boss-like thing anyway, right? That just wouldn't be fun. I can't remember if there's a fight after this, though. There may be. But I don't think so. So we killed that. That was that was still just a part of Sin. It wasn't Sin. Sin is like a giant whale creature. We will see him soon enough. But we stopped this one at least. Is that going to do much for us? Maybe not. So this is also the save things. I'm going to skip most of the save things just to save us time. You don't want it. It's not going to save a lot of time, but over the course of probably this will be like in the range of 100 episodes. That'll probably save us 5 minutes overall. Does that make it worth it? Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, that's a lot of Sin Spawn scales. And we have very low health also. I hope it heals us, because otherwise we may actually die. It did heal us. That's good. So the way you win this fight is you have to attack the thing on the far right there that has a little spinning mechanical thing. Once you beat it, it falls and blows up and kills them all. We cannot yet attack it. That's what I was looking for on Titus's turn. I was trying to find out if I can strike it before the game prompts us, but it's not giving us that option. So we have to find out that these guys just respawn endlessly. That they'll never go away, so Orin has to tell us. And here we go. It's a subtle tutorial to tell us that the environment sometimes can come into into account. It can factor in. It's like the Goomba King boss in Paper Mario when you hit the tree and you go, wow, you can hit the tree? And it does stuff. It's kind of like that. There aren't a ton of fights this will be useful, but at least we're now aware that it's a thing. So now the game can say, well, we told you. You're supposed to be on the lookout for things that you can hit. If you do anything other than attack it, it's basically just not worth your time. I'm not sure if you can lose this one if you just refuse to do it. Probably, but I feel like you'd have to be pretty stubborn. And I'm not that stubborn, so I'm gonna try not to die in this playthrough also. I'm not gonna take deaths out if they happen. Well, at least the first one. I'll do it like I edited the Devil May Cry series, where I'll show you the first one and then just cut to the victory one. The run of it, anyway. There are a couple of difficult fights, and even though I've played it, I haven't actually played it in a couple of years. So, like, there's some fights later in the game that I can't actually remember the strategy for, so you may have to trial and error it. But on the whole, you're playing with this with someone who knows the game. Like, I've got a pretty good understanding of how this is going to work. So it should be pretty fun, as far as I'm concerned. Sin is now eating everything. I know that doesn't look like a whale-like creature, but trust me, he will look like a whale-like creature.
You are sure?
Orin apparently can understand Sin, which is strange. Maybe it gets explained later, maybe it doesn't.
This is it.
For some of these cutscenes, I'm not going to talk that much because they're kind of awesome.
This whole story.
And I don't want to ruin things. But we're not really at the crux of the story yet, trust me.
It all begins.
Like, this is the beginning, as he said. But I do think the story of this game is just fantastic, so I'm going to let some of it just play out, and you can watch and appreciate it.
Hey,
I'll fill you in if there are any gaps.
hey!
Oh,
My old
that sure is something. We're now swimming. We gotta go down. Where are we going down to? I always forget where we're going here. I think there's a platform somewheres. Okay, we're at the bottom. Are we swimming right? We're not swimming right. We're swimming left. Oh, there we go. See the platform. Go down, Titus. Go down. He went down.
I thought about
Hey, that's us as a kid.
Like
This is a
where I
hallucination.
was, what I got myself into. I started to
Because you
feel
can't tell.
lightheaded.
That's us as a kid
Then,
that we saw
slowly,
after we saw the ghost of
I
Jacked,
think
or the
I had a dream.
hallucination of Jacked. The
I wanted someone.
I don't know what it is.
Beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
So this is not the Xanarkand ruins. This is not our city. We got transported somewhere else to other broken stuffs. But we didn't die. So that's a plus. This story probably wouldn't have happened if we died.
Anybody there?
Nobody's there, my guy. Except that bird. We could eat the bird. That could work.
Hey!
Echo, echo, echo. Oh, there goes the bird. We can't eat it. Well, there's a goal. The game just kind of subtly prodded us there, so we're gonna head there on the next episode.